I can be accused of a lot of things, but having good ideas all the time, definitely not one of them. For example, introducing the MK1 Braton option in this pool, but it's a little bit late for that. I kinda did it to myself. So, hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today we're gonna be doing a guide on the MK1 Braton. Now, you might be new to Warframe since you're looking up information on the MK1 Braton. Let me be very clear. The MK1 series weapons in Warframe, for example, MK1 Braton, MK1 Bow, MK1 Kunai, are just meant as introductory weapons. They're just meant to show you how everything works, and you're not supposed to invest in them. These are not weapons that you should be looking up, oh, how to build this and that. These are weapons that you're supposed to use for a day, maybe maximum of 2, and then just forget about them. For example, in the Braton family, you have the MK1 Braton, the Braton Prime, the Braton Vandal, and whatever else Braton in case I missed any. So there are plenty versions of this specific weapon, which all of them, a lot better than this one. But the MK1 Braton is special because this is the weapon that is supposed to introduce you to Warframe. This is your standard assault rifle. There's nothing special here, so maybe if you're coming off of FPSs which are a bit more standard, let's say Counter-Strike-ish, then this will feel right at home in the sense of handling and all whatnot. Now, if you're looking for a top-notch starter weapon, a beginner weapon, then look towards the Hek Shotgun, that is H-E-K. Look at the market, buy the blueprint, it requires mastery rank of 4, and that is the first weapon that is legitimately worth investing in. I got a full and detailed guide for beginners, for new players, link in the cards right now. After you watch that guide, you will know everything that you need to. But I'm not gonna leave you high and dry. I will still offer you a couple of advices when it comes to modding in general in Warframe. So let's have a look at the MK1 Braton. So, fair warning, don't do this at home, okay? Do not format this weapon 5 times. Oh, speaking of which, mod capacity 60 out of 60. Your MK1 Braton might have something like 30 out of 30. You jump into actions and you install the Auto King Catalyst, but not in the MK1 Braton. In a decent weapon such as the Hek Shotgun, installing an Auto King Catalyst will be doubling your mod capacity. You can pay 20 plat for this one, you can farm it from Nightwave, sometimes it appears on alerts. Now, since we're on this screen right here, let me give you another bit of advice. You see this button right here, the auto install button? This is a bad button. This is left over from the alpha days of Warframe. Now, if you click this button, you got a good chance of your computer shutting down and your Windows basically deleting itself. So do not touch this button, okay? Just forget about it. Now, the way you polarize a slot, you hit polarization and you're gonna have to get a forma. If you don't have a forma, the blueprints for crafting said forma are obtained by opening relics. And after you get yourself a forma, you can forma your weapon. Now, the process of formatting simply adds a polarity to a non-polarized slot. Or for example, I can repolarize an already polarized slot. For example, this one, horrible polarity, I would want to change it. Having the appropriate polarity on these slots will mean that your mods will drain less. Let's have a look at Prime Shred, for example. Prime Shred, fantastic, beautiful mod fan. I know you don't have it, but you will have it, trust me, you'll have it in time. Drain 16. God damn it, 16, that is a lot, but if I use it over a matching slot, boom, 8, 50%. Keep in mind that that 50% is rounded up. Look at the split chamber, okay? So 15 down to 8. If you are gonna use a mod over a non-matching slot, then it's gonna drain even more. If you use it over a non-polarized slot, it will simply drain the stated amount. Now, that out of the way, take a look at this slot right here. This is the weapon Exilus slot, and on a lot of weapons in Warframe, this slot is not really supposed to be unlocked because it doesn't really provide you with a huge benefit. This is more a quality of life improvement, and if you want to see exactly what mods can possibly go into that specific slot, you hit this tab right here, Exilus. Very simple. And you will see quality of life mods. For example, rifle ammo mutation basically solves your ammo issues. Here's one which is slightly more powerful. Vigilante supplies. Now this one will give you your ammo back, but it also has a set bonus, which is not uber powerful, but it's something, which is better than nothing. So there you go. Now, that's pretty much it to how to polarize your weapons, and you will have to polarize your warframes, your weapons, your kavats, your companions. Basically, this is how we get the most powerful builds on our items, whether they be warframes, weapons, or companions, etc. Now, I'm gonna jump into the quote-unquote final build for the MK1 Braton, since my viewers were kind enough to put me through this. you will come across a couple of mandatory mods when it comes to primary weapons in Warframe, my dear new players. These 4 right here are what we call mandatory mods. Serration, Split Chamber, Point Strike, Vital Sense. You will use these 4 mods on a lot of builds, and they are all new player friendly-ish. Now what you should know, let's take a Serration for example, a brand new Serration. You might find yourself with something like this. Your Serration might be flawed, and you will have a lot of flawed mods when you're just starting out in Warframe. Hey, here's a tip. Don't dissolve them. Don't sell them. Keep them, because when you're old in Warframe, God, I sound like such a... Anyway, when you're a veteran in Warframe, you're gonna be happy to come across your flawed mods and remember the quote-unquote good old days when you had a lot of stuff to do. So, there you go. Don't throw them away. And do not invest in a flawed mod. Look for the normal versions. If you have friends in Warframe, these are standard mods that everybody has, at least 20, 30, 50, 100, 1,000. Okay, so they shouldn't charge you anything for them. Serration has a lot of endo to sink in. Look at all those points. Look at all those points at the bottom. So it'll take you a while to fully max it out. When you reach 50, 60% and it starts to hurt you the amount of endo and the amount of credits it's asking to upgrade 1.1 point, forget about it, leave it at roughly 50%. Go to multi-shot. Here's a quick tip about multi-shot, my friends. It's the best thing on everything. One more time, the best thing on everything. Well, that's not entirely correct. It's 99.9%. The rocket launch, actually grenade launchers have a problem with it. Anyway, more on that some other time. 99% of weapons, multi-shot is the best thing that you can put on. Prioritize split chamber. Again, it's a mod that players should have by the hundreds, maybe by the thousands if they didn't actually dissolve them. And if anybody asks more than 5 plat, they're trying to cheat you. Do not pay. Next, critical chance and critical damage. Just a few mods that are worth again investing into. Point Strike, my friends. Look at that, I have 140 something. This will offer you critical chance, and again, it only requires you 5 points of upgrade. So again, it's definitely worth investing in, but critical chance without critical damage, my friends, is entirely pointless. Vital Sense. Now you might think you know how critical chance and critical multipliers might work in Warframe, but if you're new to the game, trust me, chances are you probably don't. Link in the cards right now for a full tutorial on how critical chance and critical damage works. Trust me, it's a lot more elaborate than you might think, which is actually quite fun if you like numbers and stuff. I kind of like numbers and stuff, so there you go. Yeah, I need another hobby. Anyway, after you got your damage, multi-shot, critical chance and critical damage, then we can talk about more advanced stuff. But if you're new in Warframe, when it comes to your rifles, your primary weapons, prioritize these mods. Keep in mind that shotguns, such as the Hek, which I recommended to you, is also a primary weapon, but that one is a shotgun, so it takes different mods. Now, not all of the mods are different. This mod, for example, works on any primary weapon. Take a look, it says set primary. This one, however, only works on rifles, so bear that one in mind. Now, my friends, this will be the endgame build for... Oh god, endgame, yeah. The endgame build for the MK1 Braton. Now, some players in Warframe actually build the MK1 Braton as high and as powerful as they can. You know why they do that? They're bored. They got nothing else to do, and I respect that. As you can see, I got 5 forma into this thing as well. They just want to see, hey, with all the resources and all the knowledge that I have accumulated in Warframe, can I do anything with the MK1 series? Can I actually make them powerful or not? Long story short, no. Okay, no, but more on that just a tad later. There's still one more mod which kind of stands out among these. This one, this purpley one. Now, this purpley one is called a Riven Mod. And Riven Mods are personalized to each and every weapon individually. There's a lot to talk about Riven Mods. I got a full guide, a full tutorial, new player friendly as per the usual, link in the cards right now. Trust me, you will want to know about Riven Mods. These things can put your weapon over the top. But again, this will be the endgame build for the MK1 Braton. I'm sorry, I just can't say that with a straight face. Damage with Serration, multi-shot to split chamber, critical chance, critical damage, point strike, vital sense, and we also got more crit with Argon Scope. This is probably the least new player friendly mod that I got on the weapon, even less so than the Riven. By the way, you cannot use Rivens until at least mastery rank 7 or 8, something like that. Argon Scope is one of the few mods that will grant critical chance on your rifles, which is beautiful, fantastic. But the problem with this one is that you can only obtain it during the Acolyte event, which comes twice a year. give or take. If the developer changes its mind tomorrow, that's not my fault. But currently, twice a year is when you can actually farm this mod. And farming this mod is like smashing your teeth up against the wall. It's honestly that bad, which is why this mod, currently on the PC trade chat, goes between 150 and 200 plat. Critical chance in Warframe is very important on weapons which have a high base critical chance. Because think about it, percentages, right? If your base is low, then your mods aren't gonna do that much either. So bear that one in mind. We also got two 60/60 mods, and don't worry about Malignant Force, you're gonna be able to get it when a very kooky guy will attack you in the void. I'm sorry. I just remembered my first war encounter. I was so scared. High voltage, however, this one, this one, yeah. From laughing to crying. This one can be farmed from the mission Nilgar on the planet Eris. You gotta find all the free secret caches. Then upon extraction, you got the massive 5% chance to get this one. Or Shell Shock. Shell Shock is the exact same thing, but only for shotguns such as the Hek. Again, guys, in the cards, play with the Hek. Mwah, beautiful weapon. Alright, enough is enough. Let's test the weapon and see what it can do. You saw I got the elemental combo of corrosive on the weapon. That is the combo of electricity together with toxin, which will do fantastically well versus corrupted heavy goons level 120. And trust me, this is the way, a good way to build this weapon. Let's see what the MK1 Braton can do. Yeah, it's hurtful, and it is painful. Basically, if you threw rocks at the bloody guy, that would do more damage. But the thing is, these are very, very high-level targets for an MK1 Braton. Level 120 corrupted heavy goons. Guys, you're not even gonna see these in sortie free. Maybe if you go sortie free and this will be a survival or something like that, then and only then you will see this level of target. But again, the mods that I used on this weapon are definitely not something like an MR4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would have. These are mods that an endgame player would have, which is why we're hitting endgame targets. Even though, when it comes to Warframe and endgame, my new Tenno, my new friends, a lot of players don't really find an endgame in Warframe. Some say it's fashion frame, and fashion frame is the art of making your Warframe look really, really nice. Other players say that, listen, endurance runs are the endgame in Warframe. Honestly, while I was kind of like a new Tenno, nobody really wanted to tell me what's the end game in Warframe. I kept asking and they kept BSing me around. There is none, okay? There is no end game in Warframe, and you know what? That's totally fine, because a game without an end game allows you to play it however the hell you want. So take my advice, my friends. Do not rush your experience with Warframe. Take it easy, enjoy, explore every single little corridor you feel like exploring. Have fun with the game, because once you're done, once you're high MR, you're done. There's not really all that much to do, except of course generating like our own content, like running across the plains of Eidolon to see who wins the race from point A to point B. But more on that in another video. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? That's the end game build for the MK1 Braton. And again, my friends, you're not gonna see targets such as that. One thing that we can do to save this poor weapon, we can amplify it using Warframe buffs. And I'm gonna use some rather extreme Warframe buffs with Mirage Prime. Now, she's fantastic, she's beautiful, she's everything you ever dreamed of when it comes to damage, but her survivability, god damn it. I tried everything I could and still not enough. We're gonna be using a couple of arcanes as well. First will be Arcane Avenger or 3 that will boost our critical chance. If you want a guide on what the hell are these two slots, which currently for you are probably locked, link the cards right now. Trust me, no player friendly, you will learn everything you need to about these arcane mods, and trust me, they're extremely powerful. Now, we're gonna use Arcane Avenger, and for our second arcane, we're gonna be using Arcane Rage, this one. Our free 120% damage to primary weapons for 16 seconds on headshot. It's a 10% chance effect. 10% chance. We're gonna be on pausing these targets so they can hit me and I can get my buffs. And even if Mirage can't do something with the MK1 Braton, then nobody really can. Of course, these guys were gonna start hitting me, and I'm gonna be proccing my Arcane Avenger, her free ability for a fantastic damage increase as well as her lovely clones. Okay, with Mirage, okay, that's good. So with Mirage, basically this one performs like an MK1, like a Braton Prime would perform against level 100s-ish, something like this. And you can build this weapon in a couple of different ways too. You can build more into vital and leverage the high amount of slash on the weapon, the IPS slash. Yes, I'm fully aware of that. Try that as well. Trust me, it doesn't make that big of a difference when it comes to the performance of the weapon. And besides, corrosive, more often than not, is the way to go. It's even good versus high-level infested targets because they are also vulnerable to corrosive. But if you're going up against the corpus, the bucket heads with the shields and all whatnot, my friends, toxin or gas, more than enough to deal with them. Against these Grenier targets, which usually have a whole lot of armor, what you want to go for is corrosive or radiation. And I do believe, my friends, that is pretty much it for this. I can't even call this a... Can I even call this a guide? Well, I gave a lot of explanations, so I guess I can call it a guide. The point is, my friends, the MK1 Braton is not a new player-friendly weapon. This is a veteran's weapon, because only veterans know exactly what the hell they're getting into when investing in such a weapon. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. If you got any sorts of feedback for me, I would love to read it in the comment section down below. Oh, also in the comment section down below if you guys want to suggest a particular weapon review or versus. And in all honesty, I can't exactly promise you that it will be done by next time or even within a week, but I can promise you that I will be reading for each and every comment. You can also find me on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual places. Now, until next time, my friends, bye-bye.